you all for being here. I was thinking of talking maybe 15, 20 minutes and then opening it up for all of you to say things since we have such a fine group here. And the occasion is the opening of this exhibit, which celebrates the great biodiversity and the Gulf of Mexico and the area around it, and celebrate it, but to lament the tragedy that you all lived through this summer, where we kept hearing over and over again about how many gallons of oil were being spilled into the Gulf. And I, being a religious studies person, I thought of it in light of one part of our Holy Family mission. The line that jumped out at me was that Holy Family offers an education grounded in a Judeo-Christian worldview. Offers an education grounded in a Judeo-Christian worldview. I guess today we could expand that Judeo-Christian Islamic worldview, or Judeo-Christian Islamic tradition. I thought, well, what's that have to do with an oil spill and devastation there? And perhaps, like all of you, my immediate reaction was, well, oil spill is bad. You see around us images of things that were injured and harmed and killed because of that event. And Judeo-Christian tradition, of course, is good, and therefore the Judeo-Christian tradition is against things like oil spills and ecological disasters. And then I thought, well, wait, now, slow down, think about it. And I thought back there was a man gave a lecture in the late 1960s. His name was Lynn White, and I think it was 1966 he gave his lecture. The lecture was something like the medieval roots of our modern ecological disasters. Okay, so he claimed that the Judeo-Christian tradition is so anthropocentric that it actually has been harmful to the environment. Now, anthropocentric, anthropos, centered on the anthropos, the human person. So he was saying that it's so overwhelmingly anthropocentric that the rest of nature loses out there, and there hasn't been that same care for the environment as there has been care for the human person. So he made reference to a famous passage from Scripture, which Genesis 1, 26 to 29, and so I'll read it to you, see what you think. You've heard it before. Then God said, "Let us make man in our image, after our likeness. Let them have dominion over the fish of the sea, the birds of the air, and the cattle, and over all the wild animals, and all the creatures that crawl on the ground." God created man in his image. In the divine image he created him. Male and female he created them. God blessed them, saying, "Be fertile and multiply, fill the earth and subdue it. Have dominion over the fish of the sea, the birds of the air, and all the living things that move on the earth." So, Lynn White felt as though that's painting a picture of human beings as almost like minor gods, and that everything else was made for human beings, and human beings had dominion over it. They could subdue it. They could do whatever they wanted with all the creatures of the earth. So, an example of anthropocentrism going awry, I'm sure you think of this as anthropocentrism going awry, but it just was an image that I was hit with a couple weeks ago, and maybe some of you saw it. so I don't mean to turn your stomach. But making the rounds of news stations, new television news programs, there was a woman caught on tape. I don't know if you saw it, but I think she was, it was in England, and this woman was caught on tape. Did you see it? So she took a cat, a kitten. She took a live cat, put it in the trash bag, plastic trash bag, put it in the dumpster, walked away. Okay, so now a lot of people were upset, and her response was, I don't understand what all the fuss is about. It was just a cat. So, anthropocentrism gone haywire, perhaps. Lynn White also said there's no indication that Jesus was an environmentalist. He was not the outdoor of his day. He talked about sheep, goats, animals, but he certainly expanded that Jewish notion of being neighborly he expanded it in the human realm as far as it can be expanded. Even love your neighbor, not just love your neighbor, but love your enemy, and outcasts and people who are overlooked, be neighborly to them, but always be neighborly to other human beings. There was no indication that